Hey guys, welcome back to Simply Swider, your number one appliance troubleshooting channel. Just recently, I did a survey on this year's top washer brands in America. You can find the link in the description below. My findings rank GE appliances at number 6 out of the top 10 most popular washer manufacturers. And that's probably owing to this brand's numerous technical and performance issues. Among these said issues, the washer not draining has proven to be quite recurrent during my repair call. And funny enough, it's caused by a myriad of minor and avoidable factors. So, here's a quick guide on how to troubleshoot and possibly fix this issue at home. Generally, a GE washer fails to drain for a number of reasons. It could be because of human errors like overloading the appliance or using too much detergent. Other times it might be something more technical, especially if there's an issue with the drainage system. That said, based on my experience dealing with these washers, the most common technical issues include a kinked or clogged drain hose, a clogged coin trap or pump filter, a blocked drain pump, or a faulty lid switch. With that in mind, in some GE washer models, you'll get an E31 error code that often means there's a drain timeout. That's your washer saying, "I'm having trouble draining." So let's take a look at what could possibly be wrong. Okay, you're washing a load, and you figure a little extra soap won't hurt, right? Or you're one of the many who assume more soap equals cleaner clothes? Well, that's not exactly true. Let me tell you about a job I did a few weeks ago. The homeowner had a GE top loader. And guys, you wouldn't believe the state of the tub. See what I'm talking about? The tub was caked with so much scum and detergent residue that it looked like something out of a horror movie. And the worst part? They had been pouring detergent into the bleach compartment. That's a disaster waiting to happen because it can corrode and mess up your machine, not to mention your floors. Here, the solution is simple. Always stick to the recommended detergent amount for every kind of laundry load. You don't need to go all in with detergent, okay? I get it. We all want our clothes to smell like a field of lavender, but let's be smart about it. Speaking from experience, a typical washer, GE or otherwise, needs about 2 tablespoons of detergent to get the job done. In fact, in some cases, 1 tablespoon will do. I once had a client who was mind blown when they realized they'd been using 4 times the recommended amount for years. Talk about a waste of money. One more thing. Make sure you're pouring or putting detergent in the right dispenser compartment. Washers have different dispenser compartments for a reason, and using the wrong one repeatedly could cause your appliance to malfunction. You don't want that, do you? I get it. When you've got a mountain of laundry, it's very tempting to think, hey, let's just fit it all in one go. Trust me, that's just another recipe for disaster. The desire to save time could end up costing you a lot more in repairs. Here's a fact. When you overload, the washer may not even kick off the cycle. And if by some miracle it does, there's a high chance it won't drain properly. Why? Because it's choked with clothes. Think of it as trying to drink through a pinched straw. Even worse, overloading can cause poor detergent distribution, leading to uneven cleaning. I always tell my clients, if you're unsure about how much laundry your washing machine can handle, consult the user manual. In it, you'll find important information, including the maximum weight and type of clothes recommended per load. Moreover, if you've lost the manual or it's somehow unreadable, don't fret. Most manufacturers do provide online versions nowadays. So take a minute, find out what that weight limit is, and stick to it. Your washer will thank you, and so will your clothes. Did you know that some GE washers have built-in sensors that'll notify you when there's a fault with the drain hose? Impressive, right? Well, if you happen to own one of these appliances, it's always prudent to be on the lookout for the drain hose warning indicator light. If it's blinking, there's a problem worth tending to, and fast. I had this one customer, a very nice lady who had first-hand experience with this. She didn't know what the warning light was about and chose to ignore it. If you've lost the manual or it's somehow unreadable, don't fret. Most manufacturers do provide online versions nowadays. So take a minute, find out what that weight limit is, and stick to it. Your washer will thank you, and so will your clothes. That proved to be a messy and time-consuming mistake. Her washing machine eventually flooded, and she had to call me to fix it. Note, it would have been much easier and less expensive if she had simply checked the drain hose when the warning light first came on. So, how do you fix this? First things first, unplug or switch off your washing machine. Then, pull it out so that you can see its backside. That's where you'll find the drain hose, as shown in this picture. Once you have a clear view of the hose, unlatch the safety and take it out. Then, do a quick inspection to see if it has any kinks that may hinder the flow of water. If not, the next thing to check for is a clog. For this, you can use a turkey baster to pass some water through. If it flows through like a river, your drain hose is okay, but if it doesn't, you definitely have a clog. Luckily, there are a few quick and easy ways to clear a clogged hose. For example, you can straighten out a wire hanger and insert it into the drain hose. Then push and pull the wire to try to dislodge the clog. Or you can use a plumber's snake. It's a long and flexible tool that can be used to clear clogs in pipe. I prefer this method because it often gives great results, as you can see in this photo from one of my repairs. If you don't have access to a plumber's snake, you can try using a chemical drain cleaner. These cleaners can be effective at dissolving clogs, but they should be used with a lot of caution. So if you choose this path, ensure you follow the directions on the product label carefully. Assuming you've already checked the drain hose for kinks and clogs and found none, the next possible culprit will be the drain pump. Generally, this component is often responsible for pumping out wastewater after a wash or rinse cycle. So, if it gets clogged, you'll have a messy drainage issue to worry about. Before we start, and I can't stress this enough, switch off or unplug your machine before anything else. Remember, safety first. Once that's done, you'll need to pry open the back panel or front panel depending on how old your machine is. Doing so will give you access to the drain pump. All you need is a flathead screwdriver or a putty knife. In this photo, I was working on an older GE washer that I suspected had a similar issue. If you've managed to remove the cover, try to locate the drain pump motor at the bottom of your machine on the backside. Once you find it, start by disconnecting the wire harness and then unscrew the motor from the washer's bottom panel. Remember, this is a messy undertaking, therefore keep a small bucket and towels nearby to catch any water that may spill. Remove the two hoses connected to the pump and put the bucket under them to collect any water drips. Then take the pump out for closer inspection. If the pump is clogged, you can try to clear the debris with a wire hanger. You'll be surprised at how much gunk you'll find in there. I once pulled out a lint-covered sock from a drain pump. Crazy stuff, right? Anyway, once you've cleared the clog, clean your drain pump and the hose just to be sure, and then reassemble your washer. Note that if the pump is damaged, it will need a replacement. On the plus side, replacing a pump is pretty straightforward for any seasoned tech. So if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, call one in to make that swap for you. Alright, let's be honest. Do you empty your pockets before doing laundry? Well, I had this client who dubbed her washer the coin collector because of all the change she'd forget in her jeans. That said, I know these funny nicknames might be cute, but not so much when that change ends up jamming your washer's drain system. Obviously, your appliance has a built-in drain filter to catch these little rebels. But over time, the accumulation of lint hair ties, coins, and other debris can clog up the filter. And since it's a vital part of the washing machine's drainage system, the appliance won't drain. Or at best, it will do so slower than traffic during rush hour. Now, if you're wondering, where is this elusive filter hiding? For GE top-load washers, it's usually right below the glass door. Just pop off that bottom panel and boom, there it is. Once you've located and dismounted the drain filter, give it a thorough cleaning. Remove all the lint, coins, and any other dirt you find. Honestly, it's like an archaeological dig sometimes. I've seen everything from coins, paper clips, to engagement rings. Yeah, you've heard me right. Anyway, once it's clean, pop the filter back in. If it was the issue, you washers should go back to draining like, well, I won't say a waterfall, because that would be a lie. but it should drain at least a little bit better than before. If it's still not draining, you may need to call a professional, but at least you'll have a clean filter to show for your efforts. And who knows, you might even find a lost treasure or two. So, what's the lid switch all about? Think of it as one of the many safety features in your washer. Generally, it's there to ensure that the washer only operates when the lid's securely closed. Bear in mind that some washers drain while spinning, and that can cause water to splash out of the washer if the lid isn't securely closed. So, in simpler terms, the lid switch's primary job is to prevent any accidental waterworks and flooding. With that in mind, if this switch starts acting up, your washer won't drain. So if you've checked all the issues above and your washer is still unable to get rid of wastewater, you should test this component for faults. Well, identification is easy. If you've checked all of the other issues discussed in this video, then the last and most probable culprit is always the lid switch. In fact, according to the GE Appliances brand, some of its older washer models are designed to pause operation once or if the lid is not securely closed. On the plus side, replacing the lid switch isn't rocket science. You'll need to pop open the top lid and carefully swap out the old switch. But here's a pro tip. Make sure you've got some wiggle room with those wires because trust me, you don't want to yank something accidentally. Moreover, be gentle when fitting in the new switch. It's not a tug of war. My buddy and fellow repair guy Bernard always says if you feel out of your depth, don't hesitate to call someone who's swum in these waters. So, if tackling it solo feels daunting, give your favorite technician a shout. Anyway, that's it for this video. Here, I've discussed all the possible causes that my colleagues and I have come across when dealing with GE washer that won't drain. As always, I'll be grateful if you could support my work by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. More so, if you'd like to know more about keeping your appliances happy and healthy, feel free to join our Facebook group where we tackle all sorts of mysteries. The link is in the description below. Thanks, and see you in the next video.